What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Jared from Subway here, back at it again to drop What If Deku Stayed Quirkless? What would happen had Deku never received One For All? Well, you guys are in for a treat because today we're going to be discussing just that. So without any further ado, let's get started.
Hey Ross, sauce it up.
Okay, so before I start the story off, I just want to preface this by saying that this will be completely unscripted as well as unfiltered, meaning I don't have any idea how this story is going to be playing out whatsoever, and I'm just kind of going to be saying whatever comes to the top of my mind. And so the thing that I best feel like we should start the story off with is essentially just Deku, the day of the sludge villain attack. Okay, see, normally All Might ended up essentially handing Deku his quirk this day, or no, not essentially giving it to him, but starting to train him, getting him ready to be his successor. What would happen if All Might, instead of having all that happen, simply went in to save Bakugo himself, using more of his, One For All power, and got out of there faster. Therefore, Deku never ended up having more of an encounter with All Might. And so, Deku would have obviously just kind of given up on his dream. But with that came Deku obviously still trying to get into the UA entrance exam. And so Deku did that, with him failing. Okay, Deku would end up failing this entrance exam, and with that comes Deku essentially deciding that, well, maybe being a hero just isn't for him. However, this is when Deku, on his way home, when Deku's walking home, Deku would essentially just be, standing by as, he would just be walking past an alleyway. Now, it's at this point that Deku would essentially see a man about to get stabbed by somebody with a red scarf and like a weird ninja outfit. Deku would rush in there with his body literally moving on his own, not letting Deku just stand by and watch. And Deku would rush in there as he would say, "Hey, stop!" Immediately Stain's attention would turn towards Deku as he would rush at Deku's direction, and Deku would say, "Leave him alone!" He would literally grab his jacket as he would throw it at Stain, and Stain would be like, "What?" Like, he's just thrown off guard by this, so he just throws it off of himself, and Deku, instead of trying to fight Stain or anything, grabs the man and tries to run away with him, saying, "Are you okay?" As Stain is just perplexed by what just happened. He would follow Deku on top of buildings, saying that hero isn't gonna get away. And Deku would end up stopping halfway, in another alleyway, as he tried to cut him off. And so Stain dropped down in front of him, and Deku said, just shaking, he was trembling in fear, but Deku put up a pose of fighting and said, "I'm not gonna let you kill this hero, because even if I'm quirkless and I can't fight you, I'm gonna do what's right, because I have the heart of a hero." As he would rush at Stain's direction, Stain, hearing those words coming from Deku's mouth and seeing the resolve in Deku's eyes, something that Stain doesn't see in anybody but himself and All Might, would immediately rush over towards Deku as he would knock him out. And at this point, Stain would simply grab Deku's limp, almost lifeless body, as he would simply carry it over his shoulders, aiming his blade towards the fake hero, telling him that if he doesn't quit being a hero, he will hunt him down to the ends of the earth to find him. And the pro hero would simply nod as he simply scrams away and is just like, I gotta go. He would, grab everything as he pretty much just leaves the area. And it's at this point that Deku would wake up. A couple of hours later, Stain would basically just be sitting right next to Deku as Deku would start trembling, saying, "Who are you?" And Stain would say, "Relax, kid. If I wanted you dead, you'd be dead." As he would look at Deku's direction and ask him what gave him the guts to stand up for that hero and do what he did. Deku would look at Stain perplexed as he's just like, "What do you mean? I don't know." He would just look at Stain as he would then look at the ground and say, my body just moved. Am I ever gonna see my family again?" Stain would look at Deku as he would ask him where he was coming from. And Deku would say, I tried out for the entrance exam, but they said that a quirkless kid like me could never do it. And They were right. Somebody with my strength and just being quirkless like me would never make it in the pro hero world. Stain would listen to these words that are coming out of Deku's mouth as he would have a teardrop rain down his face, saying that if only he had a quirk. As he would then look at Stain and wipe off the tears, saying he probably doesn't care anyway. Immediately, Stain would stand up and say, "Look, you stopping me doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop doing what I've been doing. My name is the Hero Killer Stain, and I stand for justice. I stand for real heroes. This world is corrupt. Hero society simply is not working at these times. Nothing is being done for these heroes the way that things should be done." And so Deku would stand up as he would say, "But I mean, hero society's fine, right? I mean, people save lives all the time." Stain would look at Deku as he would say, "They're liars. They lie. Hero society is about as corrupt as the villain side," as he would begin to essentially explain to Deku that, when he was a child, that a hero ended up actually not saving them, but actually ended up creating a false scenario for him to save them in order to get a bunch of credit. And with that came the death of his mother and father, a car accident which the hero caused himself just to get his name out there, some notoriety. And it's just making him sick to his stomach. And the more that Stain looked into becoming a hero, somebody to try to fix these mistakes, instead of Hero Society helping somebody like him, they simply shunned him out because of his quirk. Somebody with a villainous quirk, as so they called it. And so Stain decided that instead of simply sitting by and letting bygones be bygones, he was going to be doing something about Hero Society, taking down every fake hero who claims to do something good in this world. And so Stain would look at Deku's direction as he would say, "Will you help me?" Deku would shake as he would say, "Do you want me to kill people?" And Stain would simply nod his head as he would say, "I don't want you to take that path. It seems to me like you have the heart of a righteous hero. To make you do something like that would be corrupt of myself." He would look at Deku as he would take out a blade and throw it at Deku's direction, saying, "No, we're going to do something much different with you. For the following year, you're going to be learning how to use that sword right there." And so Deku would look at the sword right in front of him as he's like, "I don't think I can." And Stain would say, "You don't think you can, but you will." And for the following next 2 weeks or so, Deku would essentially try to get the basics of swordsmanship down. But Stain would notice that Deku is completely horrible. This man, Deku, is so bad at wielding a sword that it makes him sick to his stomach. It's almost hilarious. And so Deku deciding that, swordsmanship, not for him. This clearly isn't my Deku Zoro series Deku, so not really gonna work out with that. And so what Deku decides that maybe instead of a sword he can use a different weapon. He would look around in Stain's arsenal as he would see a little bow, a bow and arrow, and Deku would ask if he knows how to use this. Stain would say that he's tried to use those before, but he never really quite got the mark. And so Deku grabbed the bow and arrow and said, like this, as he would put the bow on it and stretch it back. Immediately he would aim at a target, which was just a small little can of soda, as he would let the arrow go and it would hit a perfect mark. Immediately Stain's eyes would widen as he would say, "Kid, I think we found your calling." And immediately Deku would basically look at Stain as he would smile, and Stain would say, "All right, go home for today. We'll keep practicing on this tomorrow. I'm going to get you the supplies you need." And so Deku would ask him, what does he mean by that? And Stain would simply say, "You'll find out tomorrow." And so Deku would be given a costume that I will be showing up on screen right now. So in case you guys want to see what Deku's costume is going to look like, here's what it's going to be. This is the first variant, or the first version of it, all right? And so with that, Deku just basically proceeds to, come back the very next day as his training continues. He keeps trying to perfect bow and just trains for the next 2 months. Now, during all this time, obviously the Heroes versus Villains event would have still happened in UA, and the USJ attack would have also gone down as well. Not only that, but the UA Sports Festival within those 2 months that Deku's been training with the bow has been going on during this whole endeavor. And so we now are going to the current Stain arc. Now, during this time, Stain never actually ended up injuring his brother by, stabbing him in the back. However, Stain still hasn't stopped the killing. So we're getting very, very close. Actually, wait, did I say that the UA Sports Festival already happened? We're gonna say that like we're in the midst of it, all right? And so we're with being in the midst of it, Stain does end up hurting Ida's brother. Now, Deku did kind of give Stain to have a change of heart, and so Stain is questioning his own motives, questioning if he should truly kill people. And so, instead of actually starting to kill people, he simply just injures them really badly, which is still horrible, but it's like, it's kind of an upgrade when you think about what he was doing beforehand. And so, we basically just keep it going with Stain essentially just injuring Ida's brother. Ida would get the call, and Shigaraki and Kurogiri would still have that talk with Stain regarding why he's so popular and asking him why just you know, just being normal Shigaraki, you know what I mean? And so Shigaraki, not really knowing what to say, would simply just like send Stain back after Stain just says a real person's, you know, heart is shown when they're in the face of death, with Shigaraki basically saying, "Get off of me, Kurogiri, get this loser out of here." Immediately, we would just basically at this point have Stain in Hosu City with Deku there as well. And it's at this point that we basically just have a Deku looking at Stain's direction, as Stain and Deku are just kind of in the Hosu City alleyway, you know what I mean? And Deku is asking Stain what they're doing here, but Stain would simply say that he needs to take care of another fake villain who he hears is going to be coming very, very soon. Now, I know I said villain, but you guys know I meant hero. So obviously, Stain would have definitely gotten word that the pro hero Endeavor was going to be coming into town, and that was one of the fakest heroes that Stain can even think about. And so, with that comes Deku trying to talk Stain out of it, but Stain has his mind set on killing Endeavor. There's not a thing in this world that will be able to change his mind. And so we have the night of the Nomu incident going down, with Ida noticing Stain in the alleyway and rushing at Stain. Now, Stain obviously would have handled Ida and said that you're the fakest hero of them all. If you're willing to do what you are doing today, then you don't deserve to call yourself a hero. And so we basically have it to which Deku would look at this entire situation and just wonder to himself if he should help this kid or just stand by and watch what Stain is about to do. Deku doesn't know what he has to do. Deku is completely lost. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that is where we're going to be leaving off this What If. I'm leaving off with this dilemma because I simply want to know one thing. What do you guys want me to do for the story? Do you guys want me to go with the light path or the dark path for what if Deku stayed quirkless? You guys have the option to choose, and today I will be dropping a poll. Seeing as this video is probably going to be dropping tomorrow. I'm recording this on the 19th. Video is probably dropping on the 20th. So yeah, probably dropping like sometime around, I don't know, just it's dropping like at 8 a.m. probably in my standard time. But yeah, I will be doing a community tab post, so watch it like a hawk, and make sure you guys go over there and comment light path or dark path. Whatever it is that you guys end up choosing is what I'm going to be ending up doing, but I'm not going to be giving you guys any spoilers as to what's going to be happening. As always, guys, thank you so much to Dank God for helping me out with making this thumbnail, as well as go make sure you guys go check out my TikTok, seeing as I'm going to be doing a giveaway on there where everybody who follows me is automatically entered. Link will be down below in the description, as well as the link to my second channel, seeing as I want to grow that and start doing manga and anime reviews. I'm probably going to be focusing on that channel next month just because of the fact that I'm kind of running dry of ideas at this point, so I'm thinking of taking a break from What Ifs for a little bit, and seeing as the month of January is the time where monetization is the lowest, I really have nothing to lose. So in case you guys want to see more of me, definitely make sure to go check that out. With that being said though, guys, it has been your boy Jared from Subway, and I am out. Peace.